he's here, and he's going to give you some tips, and if you have any questions to start with, and then we'll have some sort of cricket actions going on. So, any questions you'd like to share?
Yeah.
Must be some questions.
So I want to know, how do you prepare before a game?
How do I prepare?
Yeah.
Not very well at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, like generally.
Generally, it's just a case of practicing as much as you can, making sure that you go to bed the night before your game, having done everything that you can to get yourself ready for the day. Whatever you think that you're not doing right, when you get the opportunity to practice it, and you don't stop practicing it until you basically sorted it out. So that we all know when we go to bed at night, we're always worried about how we're going to go the next day. If you're worried about you haven't practiced properly, then you're going to worry more. So if you can go to bed in the evening and just know that you've comfortably sorted out that you've got a bit of you're doing well.
How do you work out in the gym?
How do I work out?
Like in the gym, like do you spend much more time in the gym and fitness?
I don't do gym. I run a lot. I do a lot of sprint training, a lot of cardiovascular work, lots of running. I don't do any weights. I don't like weights.
Is it supposed that the cricket?
Do you like weights and whether they work for you? For me, I can't do lots of weights because I get bulky and then I start to lose my formation and my natural stance. So I just don't do weights. You guys?
How do you guys mentally when you start writing?
I don't read it. Don't read it. Can't read it. If you read it, it doesn't do you any good. Yes.
Do you have any superstitions?
No, I don't have any. Absolutely none.
Not before a game, or?
None at all. No. There's a lot of blokes that do. Some real weird ones out there, but no. Neil Mackenzie from South Africa has to make sure that every single toilet in the dressing room is down before he goes out and bats. Nick Pothas, when he bats, he doesn't touch any of the white lines. The only time he touches them is when he runs over them. Make sure it doesn't go anywhere near them. There's some weird rules. When guys get out, they go and sit in different sections of the dressing room. I don't have any.
As a captain before, how would you prepare for a game as a team spirit, or how do you bring that game on?
I think you've just got to be on a level at all times. You can't let your players feel that you're under pressure or you're nervous or you're anxious. You've got to try and give off this level playing field that everything's okay, even though it might not be okay. And just basically make everybody around you feel comfortable and happy and at ease, and also give your players a lot of self-belief. Make sure your players feel that you think that they're the best players out there.
Any more questions?
Yes.
How do you manage to overcome your nerves before a match?
It's difficult. You don't think it doesn't matter how much you play, you still get nervous. You just have to believe in what your practice is and how well you practice, and the rest looks after itself. But I'm nervous before I go and bat, but once the wicket falls and I go out to bat, I don't have any more nerves. Because I believe that practice I've done is sufficient. Any more? You must have some. Nothing? What do you got for me?
I haven't even
Nothing? Nothing? None.
Do you
all know it all?
What's your kind of routine before you play like each ball? Do you have a set routine? Like
just watch the ball. Only the ball. That's all I'm interested in. No set routines. All's natural, just whatever I do, but I just watch the ball as a batter, that's all. It's the best bit of advice I've ever got. Just watch the ball.
What about your diet? Like, do you have a specific routine throughout the day, or is it just
we watch what we eat. I mean, we don't go and eat burgers for breakfast, lunch and dinner, but it's important to have good meals. We're lucky, we get looked after very well. The hotels we stay in and the services that get provided are very good, so you can eat well. I mean, you could also eat badly if you wanted to, but I mean, if you want to be a good professional, then you've got to look after your body, because if you don't look after your body, it's not going to look after you, especially when it's hot. or cold in England. Yes, buddy.
What's your favourite shot?
My favourite shot? Switch it.
Switch it, yeah. Flick off the leg.
Switch it a good one. Flick off the leg is a good one. Straight drive. Pulling a seam is fun. They're all good shots. Depends who's bowling.
Who's the toughest bowler?
The hardest was Muralitharan. He was the toughest. Sorry?
Pace bowler.
The toughest pace bowler. Brett Lee and Sean Tate are very fast. So Lee's not fast anymore, but facing Tate in Australia on fast wickets is scary, especially at the whacker. Incredibly scary.
What do you hold as your best innings?
My best one.
Yeah.
In tests or 20 anything? I scored 200 against Australia in Adelaide 18 months ago, which I love. 200 I scored against India last summer was a good one. Or any of those big scores when you know that you've gone in and you've made them count. Because once you get in, you've got to try and stay. You've got to try and give big scores. That's the goodness. Getting 100, lots of people get 100s now, but if you get 100, you want to get 150, 170, 200. They're the ones that count. No more?
You know when you're friends with Shane Warne, aren't you?
Yeah.
Like when you played in 2005,
Yeah.
and then he bowled the sort of bouncer ball at you, and they kind of stare down. How was that?
Brisbane.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, that was weird. But he was just trying to G himself up and get himself going for that series. He'd been criticised a lot for being too friendly in the previous Ashes with me. So he was trying to go the other way around and try and get all aggressive. He's a superstar bowler. Superstar bowler. He was good. Very good.
Can I just ask the turnaround of performance against spin from the test to the one days lately? Is that down to just being more aggressive, or is it technique in that?
Wickets are different. Day 5 test wickets. Day 3, 4, 5 test wickets spin more. The bounce is different. On a one-day wicket, you're going to generally not get much turn. You're not going to get a different bounce, so you can commit yourself, you can play certain shots. Batsmen are generally more aggressive, and also you don't have the silly point short leg, so that theatre, which is created around the batsman in a test match, there's no theatre in a one-day game. Obviously when we start, like when me and Cook started, they've got Hafiz and they've got Rain, and they come in a bowl and they've got slip. But there's just not that same vibe. And also because there's not that much, in test matches your wicket as a batsman is so severe. I mean, that's just everything. Whereas in a one-day game, it's not as pressured.
So you play a bit free.
You can play a lot free. In 2020s especially, you're just out there to whack the ball really. Try and dominate the bowl. Whereas test matches, you're there to score runs but also not get out. So it's different. The mindset is totally different.
That's it. Thank you. We'll have a 2 group photographs. Just this thing here.
Lovely.